Going on a hike from Heart Bar Campground. Got here just directly across from the campground entrance is this trail, Wildhorse Creek Trail, that we can do this morning. It's about a 4-mile hike up to Wildhorse Creek Camp. Been going uphill on this Wildhorse Creek Trail is all exposed. So it's kind of hiking under the sun, kind of warm this morning with the sun shining, but we'll keep on going. Rounding this corner gives you kind of a nice view. We did about a mile, probably 600-700 feet of elevation gain so far. This should be a 4-mile hike to our destination. Rounding the corner, there's another beautiful panoramic view. I'm not sure which campground that is. Could be the Heart Bar Campground that we were at. I see kind of like a little white trailer down there. There's the helicopter. Came up that route and continuing up, winding up the hill. Here's a switchback that goes up. Rounding that corner, came to this side, we got a really good scenic view of the whole Angelus Oaks area. You can kind of see the path right there. I think that's where we kind of like zigzag up this way. Beautiful panoramic view of Angelus. Continuing on Wildhorse Creek Trail. There's a kind of a steep drop off right here on part of the trail. So gotta kind of watch where you're going as opposed to just looking at the scenery. Very scenic hike along the trail. Kind of in the back country. Continuing to head up. You might hear some mechanical noise in the background. That's kind of like sounds like a chainsaw going. My guess is some Forest Service cutting down some trees that were burnt. There was a helicopter circling before, probably to put out some fires. So we should be getting close to our destination, probably another mile to go. Looks like I think we are heading downhill. That means from that point onwards, from that corner, from what I read before, this should be like another mile to our destination, the Wildhorse Creek Camp, where you can probably pitch tent there and camp in the backwoods, or just hang out and have a little picnic before you head back. So it's basically downhill from here. Of course, you have to come back up later. So just make sure you save some energy and some water. So as we head downhill, we get a little bit more of a shade since we are under some pine trees along the way. Not total coverage, but good enough to keep some of the sun peeking through the clouds away. Still a pleasant hike, not too hot. The air is relatively still, but I think it's probably in the 70s right now. Continuing down. Still a single track trail, so kind of have to watch where you're stepping. On the final mile, down the Wildhorse Creek Trail. Goes down this way, cut across. And I hear a lot of chainsaw noise. I think we have arrived. So came down that way and down this trail. You can see it takes you to that opening, kind of under canopy of a bunch of trees. We arrived at Wildhorse Camp. There's the sign right up there. Can't miss it. So I think you can actually make camp here if you want to. Nicely shaded. Not exactly level camping space, but there's a clearing. And we came down that trail that way. There's a little bit of a creek right here. It's not a water source. It's got a very little flow, enough for mosquitoes to breed. Other than that, not much else. It's all dry. Not dry, but getting dry. Okay, got to the top of the trail as I returned from the Horse Creek Camp. That was a descent of 800 feet that I just measured, just under 1 mile from the top here, where you first round the corner. And down this trail would get you to the Horse Creek Camp, where you can get a shade and get a rest before you return back up. So the wind picked up a little bit. Weather is still clear, but there is kind of a chance of a thunderstorm sometime, possibly today later. We had a little sprinkle yesterday as we got to the campground. It just kind of like came through and went away. But you may be able to hear that the wind noise. Obviously right here we get a good breeze coming up from the valley below. Right, heading back. Here's a nice panorama before I head back down. I'm perched on top of a rock